The central nervous system, the respiratory system, the lymphatic system, or known as the immune system. What do all these have to do with the nutrition we're talking about? Well, if you've ever tried to go a long time without eating, you might have an idea of how some things respond. Let's start with the nervous system. The nervous system is your brain, your spinal cord, and all the nerves that come off of there. Well, what do we have to do with this and our nutrition? Well, we already talked about how the brain needs at least 6 grams of glucose per hour to function. It can need more than that. But think about it this way also. Your brain is helping to control your hunger, your satiation or fullness. It's helping control when you want to eat and what you need to eat. That's where some of those cravings come from sometimes. But as you start thinking about what it's doing and what you need, your brain to function efficiently needs a balanced diet, a healthy balanced diet that is. You're looking at things like nuts and fish, poultry, looking at fruits and vegetables, dark leafy greens. What you don't need a whole lot of is going to be your red meats and your organ meats. High-fat dairy products, butters. All those are okay in moderation, but if they start making up a high amount of your diet, it's not great for the health of your brain. There's also studies that are showing that omega-3 can be beneficial in helping to stave off or prevent certain types of illnesses and other problems in the brain. So the nervous system not only is to help control what you eat by thinking about it, but also your balanced diet needs to help fuel the brain to keep things functioning properly. Let's shift over to the respiratory system. Respiratory system. How long have you ever been able to hold your breath for? 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes? Well, the average individual can only be without oxygen for about 3 minutes until their autonomic nervous system kicks in and knocks them out, trying to force them to breathe. The reason is oxygen is essential for your body to function. Well, sure, you knew that, but what does it do with nutrition? Oxygen is going to be necessary for metabolism to occur. Metabolism is taking all those nutrients and converting them to energy. So ATP, what fuels your body, fuels your muscles, fuels things to work, that comes from the energy that you ingest. Well, the respiratory system helps to bring in oxygen, obviously, but it also gets rid of waste. It helps to expel carbon dioxide and various other gases. It's helping to balance the acid and base of your blood, making sure it's not too acidic or too basic, so it's functioning properly. Pretty much your respiratory system is broken down into a conduction zone and then a respiratory zone. Conduction zone, that will be things like your nose, your mouth, going down the pharynx and larynx, down the trachea, and into the bronchi and the bronchioles that go into your lungs. But when you get to the end of the bronchioles, the smaller tubes, then that starts going into the respiratory zone. That's where you get the alveolar ducts and the alveoli. The alveoli are the little tiny air sacs that are found in your lungs. That's where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide is actually occurring. And that's where your body is getting the oxygen to take into your blood to send to parts of your body to metabolize. And that metabolism needs energy from what you eat. So again, we're tying it all back together. Shifting into the next one, your lymphatic or your immune system. Now, your lymphatic or immune system, thinking about fighting off infection, white blood cells. You need proteins to build those cells. If you don't have enough protein to build enough white blood cells to fight your infections, you can't efficiently fight off your infection. So basically, your nutrition, proteins and nutrients, are helping to fuel a healthy immune system. You need things like zinc, iron, selenium, copper, folate. You're saying, well, what do we need those for? Well, iron, red blood cells, oxygen, metabolism. You go into zinc, helps with your skin, to keep it intact as a first-line defense. You need things like vitamin A, vitamin B6, vitamin C, D, and E are all necessary for a healthy immune system. Well, those vitamins are coming from what you're ingesting in your healthy diet. So again, the immune system, your lymphatics, needs a healthy diet and is based on what you're eating. If you're not getting enough nutrients, missing any one of those components that were mentioned, well, if you're missing, for example, vitamin C, very quickly you can realize your body can't fight off easy infections. Vitamin D helps with calcium absorption. Don't have calcium, your bones aren't strong enough, among other things. So again, that nutrition balances a lot of different systems in your body. Until the next video.